So I want to talk, or rather give an intro to the word formation process, particularly on the types of word formation process. So in the area of the types of word formation process study, uh, it has two main categories, which are inflection and derivation. I'll mainly talk about those two categories, also its subtopics related to this area, and it uh, I'll talk about it into four parts. The first part I'll basically give you a general concept of what the derivation way of word formation looks like. And second part I'll give you a general concept of what an inflection way of word formation looks like. And the third part I'll uh, slightly mention about the confusion part, which so many people are frustrated uh, about recognizing which way of word formation belongs to which category, either derivation or inflection. So the first part, I'll give you a overview of all the ways of word formation process in the categories, in both of the categories of derivation and inflection. And let's get into it. So talking about derivation way of word formation. Uh, you just you just need to keep it in. It's actually quite simple. You just need to keep in mind that in the process of word formation, is the meaning of formed word changes meaning of the root word. So this process of word formation is derivation. Examples. I'll give you an example. For example, let's take the word work. If you change the word work to worker, basically add a suffix er, so the word uh, work from a verb to a noun, right? So so in this case, work describes the actions of doing something, and worker it's it describes a person who's bearing the action of some from some labor, right? So the meanings changed. So cases like this, you can see the word process is derivation. And the second part of uh, inflection. Um, so to better understand about inflection, you just need to keep in mind that the meaning of word formation process has changed. For example, uh, uh, if the newly formed word, its meaning changed after uh, added element on the root word. So in this way, we can say it's inflectional. An example like, let's still take the same word work as an example, and if we change work to works, basically we add a suffix s or a third person singular s. The meaning of those two words are still the same, right? Work, it describes the actions of doing something, and works still describes the actions of doing something. So the meaning is still the same. So in this way of word formation, it's inflection. It's inflection. So the cases like this, they are inflection way of word formation. So the third part I want to talk about the confusing part. That is, people are frustrating. People are frustrated about how to distinguish which way of word formation belongs to which category, right? Either derivation or inflection. So it is it can be confusing, especially if you don't have a clear concept of uh, what derivation and inflection are really about, right? It is confusing. Part from it is also related to one particular way of word formation. It is called affixation, because this way of word formation uh, occurs both in the derivation and inflection. So as the example we've just made from part 1 and part 2, for example, take the word work. You see, they both add a suffix, right? For first example, they add the suffix er. Second example, they add the suffix s. But they belong to different categories, right? They are using the same rule, but they belong to different categories. So it is confusing, right? But if you follow this, idea that firstly, if the meanings changed or not after the word formation process. Secondly, if it is a way of word formation in affixation or other ways, right? So if you can see clearly those two parts, you get it easier. But for more details, I will think about to make other videos about those specific parts if I get prepared enough in the future. So the first part is about first part I want to talk about is the ways of word formation process. So in the derivation category, there are 13 ways of word formation process, and in the inflection category, there are 5 ways of word formation process. And I want to mention that both in inflectional category and derivational category, they both have the same way of there's one way of word formation process occurs in both categories. As I mentioned, in the part 3, that is the affixation way of word formation process, and this is the core, frustrating part that many people are confused about. And those 13 ways of word formation in derivation category, they are affixation, derivation, compounding, blending, lexical cloning, or you call it uh, another way, reduplication, uh, acronymization, clipping, conversion, back formation, onomatopoeia, uh, coinage, coinage, eponyms, borrowings, or you call it in another word, loan words, criticization. In the inflection category, those 5 ways of word formation process are affixation, inflection, internal modification, suppletion, reduplication, and tone placement. Well, about getting details of those particular topics, I'll think about making some other videos about them. Also need to prepare myself enough, and yeah, that's it. So I want to clarify one thing about the category of meaning change from the root word to the formed word. So I want to say that there's not only derivation way of word formation in this case. There's also another category. It's called compound way of word formation. But those two categories have a common ground, that is, the formed word changes its meaning from the root word. But they also have a fundamental differences, that is, the derivation way of word formation changes the root word, by adding affixes or bound morphemes, whereas the compound way of word formation is by putting 2 root words or 2 free morphemes together to form a new word. So I just want to make this point clear.